Okay, so here's another short video on Susuka circuit, as you can see. Practicing, I do know this circuit reasonably well, but still practicing, ready for the VR room event, which is tomorrow. So the circuit is a very fast circuit, so I've had to higher gear ratios so that I'm maxing the car out. Maxing the car out really in each gear, making sure hopefully that it doesn't go too far above 8,000 revs, because if it does, I'm going to struggle, because obviously over 8,000 revs you lose that little bit of engine power. Now this is going around the first corner, corner 1, which is a double apex really. A lot of trail braking as you go in there, just to make it grippy. Now the S-curve here is a particularly difficult section. It's important to apex the first corner correctly, because if you don't, it will absolutely make a mess of the other corners, because one flows into the other, and it also will muck up your entrance into this corner, which is the Dunlop curve. Now my favourite corners coming up, which of course is Degner 1 and 2. I did a lot of work on Degner 1 and 2, to be fair, at the GT Academy 2012. One of the particular time trials was there. And it's a very tricky little corner, double apex, but it's very, very quick, and you've got to turn in a lot earlier than you anticipate to make the car just drift around the corner, really. Now, up to the hairpin, very famous from TV shots on Formula 1 races, this. And we're now going towards and powering up a hill, actually, up a gradient towards the spoon curve. And I always remember many a Formula 1 car coming off at the spoon curve and it ruining people's races. Yeah, the spoon curve is again, it's a double, almost like a double apex corner, and it's very bumpy on the second bit. So I've gone around the first bit there. Now this second bit here is quite bumpy. There's a bump, and you've got to wait for that bump before you can put the power down. Otherwise, the danger is that the back will lose grip, and then you go over to the right of the circuit with the back and basically spin off. Now powering down, 5th gear, full pelt here, to the famous 130R corner, which is incredibly fast. You've got to get it precisely right. You've got to have that early turn in, let the car drift, but you can do it almost at full power. Now we're coming up to the Casino Triangle chicane at the end. I love this one. There's a nice kind of flow to it as you brake. Now I'm just going to put us on board and talk us through a lap. So powering down the back straight, passing the fairground attraction on the left. There's the pits on the right, and we're accelerating now in 5th gear. Now quite a long straight this one. You've got to back off quite late, to be honest with you. Use a lot of trail braking on the way in, and turn early to clip that apex on the right. Just using engine braking, you can hear me going down the gears there, just using engine braking to clip the apexes. Drift the car out to the left. Now this is crucial to the S-curves. You've got to get the entrance right. You've got to clip the first one, not being too aggressive. You've got to clip the second one. Now if you don't do that, it mucks up these two corners, because you've got to clip those corners. Otherwise your lap is ruined, and it compromises your exit speed, your entrance speed, and particularly your speed approaching the Dunlop curve here. So the Dunlop curve really steeply uphill, quite blind, you can't see what's coming up, but round the corner of course we've got the famous Degner 1, Degner 2. Easy to come off here. You have to brake a little bit early, down change, turn early into the first apex, then back off and turn super early into the second apex, so you clip it, and that makes the circuit wider on the left to exit under the flyover for the 130R. Accelerating up towards the hill, keeping to the right for the hairpin corner. Turn in early, clip the middle of the corner, and then turn out early, so you exit on the right hand side of the circuit. Now powering up the back section towards the spoon curve, heavily uphill. You really need a lot of horsepower here. You need to clip the apex on the right here, just as you enter just before the spoon curve, and you need to brake early and downshift, turning into the left. That's the first bit of the spoon curve done. Drift to the right, back off the gas, turn in again, wait for the bump before you put the power down. Then you just unload all the horsepower, changing 8,000 revs, remember, in the cappuccinos, keeping as far to the right as you can, getting as much drive up this hill as you can. Now here comes the famous 130R corner. There might be a slight lift, but an early turning, you've got to spy it on the left. We can see it, off the gas, turn in, back on the power. and then it drifts you just out to the right. Now we're braking down to the Casino Triangle corner, chicane, sorry. Bouncing off the rev limiter in each gear, clipping the corner, and then powering out as early as humanly possible, keeping to the right. And this section is quite bumpy as well, so you've got to be careful you don't lose the back. So there we go for one full lap of Susuka circuit. So yeah, it's very good, it's very fast, it's very demanding, and it's hard to be consistent here, particularly, in my opinion, because of those S-curves. If you get those wrong, it's your entire lap completely mucked up. So let's hope I can keep it consistent on the night. So thanks very much for watching.